Hey all, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my territory. This is episode 6. And I think it's really cool to bring new units into territory wars and see what they can do. And I had the Water Archon geared up for the Abyss. I thought, let's see if we can just use them in territory wars. And the result was pretty cool. So let's take a look at that. So I came across this defense today. It's the first time I've seen it. It's the Fireman at Arms with the Water and Dark Giant. And obviously what they're trying to do is use the Dark Giant to control your team, and then using the Dark and Water Giant to sustain the Fireman at Arms, and then he's just going to kill your team. So the Fireman at Arms is a really good defense unit, especially on better teams. And I'm not saying this is a great team, but I could see that's what they were thinking with this. And one of the things I've discovered that the Fire Mother and the Water Archon are a really good counter to the Fireman at Arms. And I'll explain, and I'll show why here in a minute. But then you also have to bring a tree tank so that the Fireman at Arms is not going after your Water Archon, who's really squishy. And so that's how I thought up this offense. And the idea behind the offense is that the Water Archon is going to steal all the buffs from the Fireman at Arms, so that then the Fire Mother can stun and defense break it so we can kill it off relatively quickly. So the Tree Dancer is there to absorb the hit from the Fireman at Arms and sustain the team. So we're going to see how this played out. And you can see I stopped it a little bit too late, but he took over half the health on my Tree Dancer, but then she uses her skill 3 to even out the HP ratio, put shields up, and give healing overturn to the whole team. So it basically nullifies the Fireman at Arms' first hit. So now we've got some time to kill him before he's dangerous again. Okay, so then I immediately go in with skill 2. Put a lot of effort into the Water Archon because I use him in Abyss, so he's built for damage and does really well. It's just very squishy, so you don't want him to get hit. But so he does his skill 2, steals both of the buffs from the Fireman at Arms, and also defense breaks him, and he might even... Okay, he didn't kill the Fireman at Arms, but got rid of the immunity so that my Fire Mother could go in with her skill 2, and he's already defense broken from the Archon, so I believe then he goes out. Yeah, so now he's dead, and because she used her skill 2, both of the Giants are going to go after her now, so I'm free to go after the Giants. And so that's really the end of this defense. And then it's just a matter of wearing down the Water Giant, who provides more sustain. He's actually on a revive set, which surprised me a little bit, but it doesn't really help him much in this situation. And then the rest of the defense is dead. That's an example of building an offense to counter a new defense that you see. So that was one of my early wins in territory wars today. And then when they took one of our towers, they put that defense in there again. And rather try to invent something else, I just reused my offense. Fireman at Arms survived a little bit longer this time, but not enough to be a serious threat. So
fatality.
That's one of the things as a free-to-play player, you really have to know what the really good counters are to the defenses that you're facing. So here's my Fire Mercenary Mother with lovely IVs and fairly good gear. So she's on Bash Corrupt, so that way she can reduce tanky units. And now the Corrupt gear that she has is actually pretty good. So there's slot 1 and there's slot 4. And the slot 4 one is actually from is one of the gear I selected from the event. And then I just luckily rolled the slot 1. And so 2 really nice pieces of gear. Bash gear is all just from farming boxing club. So I have her on defense, crit damage, HP. And sometimes I switch when I feel that I'm going to need more resistance or more defense. then I will switch out the slot 6 for resistance or defense. But typically I leave her on HP so that she can absorb a couple hits from like the Fireman at Arms or the Water Mother or things like that. So, and then it's just more stats that she really needs. So the thing you want her to have is a lot of HP, a lot of defense. Speed is less important, but a little bit of speed is good. Attack doesn't matter. And then she needs crit rate, crit damage, and resistance and accuracy. You want her to have some accuracy. I'd actually like to get her accuracy higher so that she stuns more often. And then the Water Archon. So you can see that he's on Echo Fatal to try to get him some decent crit rate. And you can see he doesn't have great crit rate. But he's on speed, crit damage, attack. And he's at 63% crit rate, 137% crit damage. Accuracy's at 42 to try to land his defense break and slows. He has a decent amount of attack, a little bit of HP, a little bit of speed, just to try to keep him alive. And so you can see his gear is not nearly as good as what I put on my Fire Mercenary mom. I'm even missing some grinds here and there, but you can see what he did to that defense. He's doing plenty of damage. And also, he's good against the Fireman at Arms because he steals the buffs, and he also gets a 15% crit rate bonus since he's got elemental advantage. So even though he's only at 63% crit rate, that makes him 78% chance to crit. So the Tree Dancer has got plus 20k HP, about 1300 defense. She doesn't really need to do damage, so there's no crit rate, crit damage. 133% resistance to try to resist some of those debuffs that get on her. And she doesn't need accuracy because she's not landing any debuffs. So she's actually pretty easy to rune. And I didn't even realize this, but she's actually on luck rate as her main stat because I use her in some dungeons. She could be made much more tankier to absorb more of those fire unit hits if I put her on HP percent or defense percent on slot 2. So although her slot 2 is not bad at 21% HP, 21 defense, some good speed, more HP, and a little bit of resistance. So that's why she was able to tank that hit even though she's on luck percent. That's the offense I really wanted to cover here today because it's actually a pretty good offense that can be used against a number of defenses because you've got multiple strips on the Water Archon always strips. Fire Mother can defense break, and so can the Water Archon. So you've got two sources of defense break. The Tree Dancer is there to tank any fire units, and the Fire Mother can tank any water or fire units. So that's it for this video. There are more coming in the future. If you like the content I'm putting out, please like and subscribe below. That would really help out the channel. We want more people to be getting these videos recommended in their feeds, and that helps a lot. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.